Hi, let's discuss reducibility. P1 is solvable and P1 reduced to P2. Then solution of P2 is solution of P1. From P1 we are reducing to P2. So solution of P2 we can use in solution of P1. If P1 is undecidable, then P2 is also undecidable. Means for P1 if there is no algorithm exists, then for P2 also no algorithm exists as P2 is reduced from P1. Let's take an example. P1 equal to n power 4 minus 1, P2 equal to n square minus 1, P3 equal to n square plus 1. These P2 and P3 are reduced from P1. So solution of P2 and P3 are solution of P1. So first find for P3, then for P2, then combinedly that will for P1. If A reducible to B, it is solving A cannot be harder than solving B. Means solving A cannot be difficult than solving B. There are some rules and you will get directly question from these rules. First rule, if A is reducible to B and B is decidable, then A is also decidable. From this rule you can derive if A is reducible to B, if B is recursive, then A is also recursive. As decidable means it is recursive. So if B is decidable, then A is decidable, or you can say if B is recursive, then A is recursive. Then second rule, if A is undecidable and reduced to B, then B is undecidable. Means if A is undecidable, then B is also undecidable. From this rule you can derive if B is recursive enumerable and A is reduced to B, then A is also recursive enumerable. If B is recursive enumerable, then A is also recursive enumerable. If A is not recursive enumerable and reduced to B, then B is also not recursive enumerable. Let's take an example like A power n, B power n, C power n reduced to A power n, B power n. First rule, if B is decidable, then A is decidable. This is our A, this is our B. If this is decidable, then this is also decidable. Means if A power n, B power n is decidable, then A power n, B power n, C power n is decidable. And from this you can derive if this is recursive, like if this is a recursive language, then this is also recursive language. Then second rule is if A is undecidable and reduced to B, then B is also undecidable. Means for this if there is no algorithm, then for this also there is no algorithm. If this is undecidable, then this is also undecidable. Or you can say if this is recursive enumerable language A power n, B power n, then A power n, B power n, C power n is also recursive enumerable language. Or you can say if this is not recursive enumerable language, then this is also not recursive enumerable language. These rules are very important. You will get direct question from this rule. So there are two rules. First rule, if A is reduced to B, if B is decidable, then A is decidable. And from this you can write if B is recursive, then A is recursive. Second rule, if A is undecidable, then B is undecidable. So if B is recursive enumerable, then A is recursive enumerable. If A is not recursive enumerable, then B is also not recursive enumerable. You can write these three sub rule, like this is rule 1, this is rule 2. From this we derive these three sub rule. These three also you need to remember. Like first sub rule, if B is recursive, then A is recursive. If B is recursive enumerable, then A is also recursive enumerable. If A is not recursive enumerable, then B is not recursive enumerable. You need to remember these three rules. You will get lots of questions from this. Just remember this is A, this is B. If B is recursive, then A is also recursive. And if B is recursive enumerable language, then A is also recursive enumerable language. And if A is not recursive enumerable language, then B is not recursive enumerable language. Next, PCP or you can say post correspondence problem. The post-chorus problem PCP is an undecidable decision problem. Given the following two lists X and Y of non-empty string over alphabet, let X equal to X1, X2, X3 up to Xn and Y equal to Y1, Y2, Y3 up to Yn. There is a post-correspondence solution if for some I1, I2 up to Ik where 1 is less than equal to Ij less than equal to n, the condition X I1 up to Xik equal to Y I1 up to Yik satisfy. Let's see one example, then you can better understand what is this. So first example, X equal to A, B, A, and Y equal to A, B, A, and A. What is X and Y? X and Y are some set of non-empty string. It is a collection of non-empty string. Like X is a collection of this string, Y is a collection of this string. So here I consider X as A, B, A, and Y as A, B, A, and A. And I assign some number to this just for identification. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's consider a string like A, B, A. So A you can derive from this, you can write 1 for this, then BA. B for BA I assign number 2, so you can write 2. Then for AA I assign number 3, so you can write 3. Then same string also you can write from Y. Like AB is for 4, then AA is for 5, then A is for 6. Or you can write as this AB, triple A. First A, then you can divide BA, then AA. This A is for 1, BA is for 2, AA is for 3. You can also divide this string as AB, A. AB is for 4, AA is for 5, A is for 6. So same string W you can divide as X and Y. So that is written here. X I1 to Ik equal to Y I1 to Ik. Let's see another example. Here string is 2A, BAA. Now 2A. 2A you can derive from this AA. AA that is for 3. Then BA. BA that is for 2. Then 1A that is for 1. So this string AA, BAA that you can write as 2A, BA and A. You can say this is for X3. Then this is for X2, this is for X1. I have written just number here, you can write X1, X2, X3. Then same string also you can write as A is for 6, then AB is for 4, then AA that is for 5. So same string AA that you can write in term of X, also in term of Y. This is a post correspondence problem. List of string will be given for X, list of string given for Y, and one string will be given and you need to match from X and Y. With this, I am finishing chapter 4. Thank you.